Welcome back to Crackpot Sports Week 11 recap, and I got to tell you, a lot of these games are pretty boring.
Besides that exciting 3-3 nail-biter New England
Yeah.
versus Jets that ended
I
with the punt return touchdown.
we keep saying this. I mean, I know I keep saying it every week that the NFL is just it's supposed to be an offensive league, which I don't mind defense. I don't mind defense, but it just seems like the defense is so much further ahead of the offense that these games are just, I don't know if it's just bad quarterback play, bad O-line play, bad coaches. I can't quite figure it out.
Passing yards and points scored have dropped off dramatically the last year from it was like a steady uptick, and then last year it just dropped off.
Yeah, especially when you're watching two teams that you don't really care about.
Mm-hmm.
At least you want to see some scoring, and you don't get the scoring. I was going to start with the Thursday night game because the Titans went into Green Bay and beat them 27-17. Does Rodgers look like he's just checked out, that he just doesn't?
Well, I heard a stat, I think it's been 15 games since he's had a 300-yard passing game.
Really?
Yeah.
15?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's and so, brutal. There's only been 9-10 games this year, so
right, yeah,
that includes Devontae Adams last year.
Yeah, because Tannehill had 333 yards and Rodgers only had 227. They're just not a very good team, and I think Rodgers, he played a hand in it. He wanted guys, and I guess he wanted to keep Adams, but Adams saw the writing on the wall, and he left Green Bay for the Raiders. He was smart. He knew he wanted to go to a winner.
He knew when Aaron Rodgers went to Mexico and did Oaxaca or whatever, he's like, all right, yeah, maybe I should get a different team, different quarterback.
He's all zen. I'm not zen. We're gonna get the hell out of here. But no, Titans are playing some good football. They're a physical team. They have a lot of injuries, but
Derrick Henry's back to being his normal self, running over everybody.
Yeah, again, I would run the other way. I saw him coming. There's no way. I couldn't get in front of him. But Titans, first place in their division. They're going to win the division. They don't have anybody else in there. But it is what it is. Dallas crushes Minnesota 40-3 after that huge win by Minnesota last week. That come from behind.
A little shocking that it was so such a beatdown.
I picked Minnesota because it was in Minnesota. I said, well, they're playing on all cylinders now. Their offense is really good. They came back against Buffalo.
They just got two new tight end and TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah, and they just looked terrible. I mean, Dak Prescott, 276 yards, 2 TDs. Cousins, 105 yards throwing.
Pretty bad.
You gotta have more from your quarterback but he was sacked 7 times.
But that's just the NFL. Last week, all the Dallas fans were hating their team because they got embarrassed.
Lost to Green Bay, yeah.
Yeah. And you just bounced back and beat a team with 1 loss.
Yeah, well, they lost last week though. That was on McCarthy. He played to lose, didn't he? I mean, I don't get it, but I don't think he's a great coach. But he has pretty good overall record. But
it helps when you have Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers for most of your career.
It does. And again, 40-3. Because I was watching that game and I said, okay, it's now 27-3. I'm done, or whatever it was. I said, I'm done. B-More versus Carolina, another barn burner, 13-3. In the beginning, we were saying Jackson made the right move by not signing a big contract. Are they going to give him a huge contract after this year?
I mean, as a fan that didn't have a quarterback for 20 years.
Right.
I'm like, all right, you're going to give up a quarterback like that? Good luck. Good luck trying to get another one.
Well, you don't want to give up. You don't want to give up on him, but he had 209 yards passing, 0 TDs, and 1 INT, and he only had 31 yards rushing, which for most quarterbacks is a career. But I was watching him. I was watching some of this game, and he missed a lot of targets. I don't know. Because I know
Oh.
Baker Mayfield did the same thing. He was betting on himself, and he had 196 yards with 0 TDs and 2 INTs.
And he crapped out at the Vegas table.
Yeah. So both. I mean, I'm sure Jackson will remain in Baltimore. I'm sure they'll work out something. But
maybe only
gets
not 200 million instead of 250 million.
Yeah, I don't think he'll settle for 200 million. I think he's definitely going to want more than what Kyler Murray got.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, they're winning. They're 7-3, and they just keep winning. I mean, he's doing enough to help them win, but he's not. He just doesn't look as what's the word I'm looking for? He's just not as
dynamic
exciting
as
previous years. Well, in the beginning of the season, he was lights out.
Yeah, he was running all over the place. I was like, dang, how did I not get him on any of my fantasy teams?
And now you wouldn't want him.
Yeah, now you'd be benching him.
Yeah. But anyway, we got the Bills versus Cleveland, 31-23. Bills bounce back, but the Bills start out really sluggish in this game. It was a real. I mean, it was like going, okay, are the Bills still reeling from last week? Was the getting out of Buffalo, because they moved this game from Buffalo to Detroit because all the snow.
Well, it's almost like they didn't get a chance to practice all week because of the snow.
Right, but they were saying, a lot of people are saying, and yeah, they're going to build a new stadium without a dome. Well, how often does you have 6 feet of snow during football season where you can't play? It hasn't happened that often. Plus, again, you take away the advantage of playing in Buffalo when you have a good team is nobody wants to go play in Buffalo in December and January at all. Nobody wants to go there.
I mean, I understand that, but fine. Like, you don't always have 6 feet of snow, but it is Buffalo. It's going to be cold. Like,
it's going to be cold.
Don't you want to have more season ticket holders and like?
Well, they sell, but they sell out. Those people are nuts up there. They're so tanked before they get into the stadium, they don't feel anything. They're jumping on tables. I mean, Bills Mafia is a wild bunch. I mean, I think they did the right thing by not building a dome stadium. Let the elements help you win games. I mean, go ahead.
Dolphins, whenever they go up there, they can't deal with the cold. And
and the wind swirling, and
when it gets 65 degrees, like everything shuts down. Like we can't deal with 65 degrees down here.
No, there's no parkas. There's no, you guys are freezing down there. They got to close the roads.
Right.
Put salt. But Josh Allen, 197 yards, 1 TD, and 7 yards rushing. Brissett, though, had a good game, 324 yards and 3 TDs, but
3 touchdowns,
not enough.
Yeah.
But Chubb only had 19 yards carrying. He only carried 19 yards rushing.
Yeah, Hunt had like the better game, I think. Got more yards.
I mean, Hunt was doing good coming out, swinging out of the backfield for screen passes. Chubb was, but I don't know. Well, Cleveland
Brissett's got one more week. Brissett's got one more week before Watson comes back. It takes over the job.
I don't think they can make the playoffs at this point. The goal was for them to go at least 500 when Watson came back, and then they'd run the table. That was their plan, obviously. But
yeah, 3-7 seems pretty tough right now.
Yeah, even though you look at the AFC and it's not a powerhouse division like we thought. Neither conferences, be honest with you.
Well, no, but you have KC has 7 wins, Miami has 7 wins. Buffalo 6 wins, Jets 6 wins, New England 6 wins. Yeah. It's a lot to catch up for.
Yeah, there's too many teams to pass. I mean, to get back up, they'd have to win out to have any chance at all. It would give them 10. Was there 7 games left? What did you say they are? 3 and.
They're 3-7 right now.
3-7, so they'd have to win out to have any chance.
And then that puts them at 10-7. Like 10 wins, that's right on
17-game season. Yeah, it's not a great total, but. It could happen. You never know, but we'll see. Next up, you had the Eagles by 1 over the Colts. I picked the Colts in this game. I was all behind Jeff Saturday. I've said he's won me over, but the Eagles scored 14 points in the fourth quarter to win the game.
Philadelphia's starting to look a little bit shaky. Like these last 2 games, like they lost to Washington last week.
Yeah,
Colts they beat by 1, and then what was it? 2 weeks ago they they barely beat Houston.
Right. They're definitely slumping at the wrong time, and Colts have a good defense. It's their offense has been letting them down all season. But I was all excited. I said, "Yeah, I'm going to win this game. I'm going to win this game." Nope, I did not win the game. Hurts had 190 yards with 1 TD. Matt Ryan 213 yards, no TDs. So it seems like there's a lot of quarterbacks today. I think we were talking before the show. No TDs, just no touchdowns.
Just like a boring offensive week.
Yeah, and the game of the day, Jets versus New England. I was watching this game, and then I switched it. I got up. It was on the red zone. I got up and I go, how the hell did New England win with only 20 seconds left? Did they block the punt? And then I found out what's his name? Marcus Jones ran it back for 84 yards. That's inexcusable. That's if you're a special teams player, you could not let the guy run the ball back for a winning touchdown with 23 seconds left. I guess he scored it with 5 seconds left, so I don't know how much time was left.
The first punt return touchdown of the year was a game-winning punt return touchdown, and it was on the 17th punt of the day for that game.
Yeah, it was brutal. I mean, you had Zach Wilson 77 yards passing. And they asked him afterwards, do you feel like you let the defense down? He said, no. Okay, dude, you scored 3 points. The defense gave up 3 points. Special teams gave up the touchdown. You don't feel anything. I mean, to me, if I'm a defensive player, that was the wrong answer to give. Definitely. I mean, I know he's young. I know he's cocky. But that, to me, if I'm a defensive player, I'm like going, what the hell are you talking about? You threw for 77 yards. You scored 3 points. How did you not let us down?
I mean, I figured that was going to happen, though. Like, the defense is like the strong point of both teams, like New England and the Jets. So I figured it would be a defensive battle. But
what I'm saying, though, is you say, even if you don't believe it, yeah, we have to score more points. The defense played lights out. That's all you have to say. You don't say no to that question. He needs to go talk with Crash Davis on how to answer questions. And I said, God, that was a stupid answer.
Or Trump. Yeah, we had the best offense ever. This was the best offense we've ever had.
We were the greatest. Next up, Detroit with 3 wins in a row. Break them up. 31-18 over the Giants. Here I am. I'm believing in the Giants. I said, okay, I hadn't picked them really all year. I picked them today, and they go out and lay an egg.
Not that much of a shocker because Giants keep playing close every week, but like barely eking out.
Right. But still,
it was a little shocking for Detroit to actually win 3 in a row.
When was the last time? I was going to look it up. I forgot. When was the last time they've won 3 in a row?
You probably have to go back to the Barry Sanders days.
That far back? Jeez, that's terrible. But they're on a roll. I mean, let's see if they can build on that and maybe make the playoffs next season. You looking it up?
Oh, no. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I was
next
looking
up,
at YouTube.
Okay. We have the Saints versus the Rams. Saints win 27-20. Stafford suffered another concussion. At this point, you just got to sit him for the rest of the season, I think.
Wait, but doesn't he have to retire? Like Tua was told to retire?
Yeah.
Where's all the reporting? Where's all his coverage again?
Yeah,
I
know
all the medical experts on Twitter.
But that's back-to-back games with. No, he sat out the last game with a concussion protocol, and then he comes back and gets a concussion. You're right. You get 2 concussions that back-to-back. There should be a rule. Okay, you have to sit because now you're susceptible to concussions.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the Rams are going. The Rams went all in last year. Their defense is still fairly good, even though they had not a great day today. They gave up 260 yards and 3 TDs to Andy Dalton. That you should retire after that. But I just they're 3-7 now. It's time. I mean, because of that they went all in. They have no draft choices
for like 5 years.
Yeah, they got to be in cap hell coming up here with all the players they've signed, defensive players, and Stafford. Enjoy your Super Bowl, Rams, because I don't think you're going back for a while now.
Yeah, at this point, you might as well just sit your guys, just get a high draft pick.
Well, they don't have any
Come here.
picks.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the problem.
true.
Yeah. But I would say at this point, Stafford, if you're paying him a lot of money and you want him to, he had that elbow problem earlier in the year. I don't know if it's still affecting him, but I would sit him the rest of the season. That's just me. Another barn burner. We had the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Denver Broncos. Broncos lose in overtime to the Raiders.
And now they both have 3 wins.
Yeah, that shows you how far the Broncos have fallen, because they never used to lose, and even when they were not a great team, they never lost in Denver. It was the elements. They always had. They probably should have won this game. Melvin Gordon, shockingly, was going into the end zone and fumbled the ball. Yeah,
his old.
He may not have scored a touchdown, but they ended up getting a field goal after that. But Carr had a pretty decent game, 307 yards, two TDs. Wilson, 247 yards, no TDs.
It was all the tears. Like he cried last week in the press conference. He willed his team to a victory the next week.
Yeah, and he's a believer in Josh Daniels. He wants Josh Daniels to stay. He believes in him. So does Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams who was questionable he was going to even play, had 141 yards catching and 2 TDs.
And the game-winning touchdown in overtime.
Yeah, the game-winning touchdown, yeah. Only took him 3 plays to win the game. Exciting. Next up, Cincinnati 37, Pittsburgh 30, Burrows 355 yards, 4 TDs, 2 INTs. Kenny Pickett, Pickett, right? Yeah. 265 yards, 1 TD. He looked pretty good at times today.
He seems like he has a future. He's
I think he's going to be all right.
Just give him time, let him learn position.
But I did learn, because the Pittsburgh had scored a touchdown with 45 seconds left, so they have to do an onside kick. Mm-hmm. They have not recovered an onside kick since 2007. 235 games. It's like the announcers were saying. I think it was Greg Gumbel, Greg Gumbel, Brian Gumbel, one of the Gumbles. He said, "You think the ball would at least bounce your way one time?" But no, they've.
But also, Pittsburgh is usually winning, so they wouldn't have to attempt many onside kicks, you would think.
That's a great point. But this season, they're not. Still.
This season, last season, yeah.
It's still, though, 2007, I think you get lucky.
Well, you feel like the Detroit Lions are attempting an onside kick every other game, so that would be.
That's all right. You sold me. I'm wrong. And that was anything else you got for this week?
That's it.
You want to do some picks? I figured we do all the Thanksgiving days, and I got 4 of their games.
Sounds good.
All right, we got the Bills versus Detroit. Now, should the Bills just stay in Detroit? I mean, I would. It's a Thursday game. Why would
you want to go back to 6 feet of snow?
Yeah. But I'm going to take the Bills. I think Detroit's winning streak stops at 3.
Yeah, I think that's a safe pick, considering the Bills are favored by 10 points. So, yeah. I'll go with the Bills.
Giants versus Dallas. After what I saw today, if the Giants might have won, I might have picked the Giants. Okay, I wouldn't have. But still, Dallas just looks at times like they're unstoppable. So I'm gonna go Dallas. You're going to Giants?
No way. I'm going Dallas.
Next up, we have New England versus Minnesota. You got to think that Minnesota will bounce back.
You would think so. Plus, New England's offense hasn't looked too good.
No.
So, yeah, I'm definitely going Minnesota here.
All right, so we're going to agree on that one. Cincy versus Tennessee. Can Tennessee score enough points? Can Burrow lead the Tennessee? I'm going to go with Cincinnati.
Yeah, this one's a little tricky. If you think, can Burrow get out to a quick lead, force Tennessee to maybe pass, get away from the running game? But being in Tennessee, I'm going to go with Derrick Henry and say they'll keep it close and win the game.
Well, they did have trouble stopping Najee Harris, Cincinnati. He was running all over him today.
Mhm.
So,
And Najee Harris is not Derrick Henry.
No, he's good running back, but he's no Derrick Henry. All right, so we're going to disagree on that one. Chicago versus the Jets. Chicago lost to Atlanta today.
That was a close game.
I'm gonna go with the Jets. I don't know why. I think defensively they're better than the Bears. It's probably going to be a low-scoring game, I guess.
Jets have better defense. They're at home. Yeah. But I think Fields continues his running streak of breaking 100 yards. Okay. I'm going to go with Chicago here.
All right. Okay. Next up, Green Bay versus Philly. Philly's been struggling, but so is Green Bay. So I'm taking Philly.
Yeah, there's no way I'm picking Green Bay. The way that they've looked this year, the offense, something's off there. So
yeah, it's not working right. And then we have Pittsburgh versus the Colts.
Oh my gosh, this is a Monday Night Football game.
Yeah, this is a Monday Night Football game. I'm gonna take the Colts. I think they can beat Pittsburgh, but you never know.
Having both these teams on Monday Night Football, I think we all lose. So I think we both have to take a loss.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong with that.
But I will go. Yeah, let's go for upset. Let's go Pittsburgh.
All right. Well, there we go. So all we got. Anything else you want to add for this week?
No, that's it.
Everyone out there, enjoy your Thanksgiving dinner on Thursday. And do you guys have Thanksgiving in Florida?
Definitely.
Okay.
We have all the Thanksgivings.
Is it instead of turkey, it's like alligator?
That won't be too bad. It tastes like chicken.
It does taste. I've actually had alligator. I've had an alligator tail, and you know what? It tasted like chicken.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
But no turducken. So John Madden would be sad.
Oh, he would be. Yes, he would be. That's all I got. Hopefully, we'll be back next week if I'm still alive, and
if no pneumonia, no more sicknesses from the grandchildren.
I hope not. I hope not. All right, guys. Hasta luego. And no Fizzlehoff today. What's up with that?
All right, guys. See you next week.
Bye.